Hello, I am Sandy Spady. I'm your host with Power Up Talk Show, a talk show that brings together community leaders and inspirational people that are making a difference in our community. I'm excited to introduce our guest, but hold off, folks. First, we start off with Dion Songbird.
Hi guys, I'm Dion with Songbird Cocktails. Sandy, thank you as always for having me on your show. Today we are going to be doing a little winter take. When it gets cold outside, I tend to lean a little bit more toward bourbon than toward lighter fare. So we're going to be doing our maple nutty old fashioned. So it's kind of like the Nutty Professor meets the old fashioned from Canada. Yeah?
That's funny.
So we're going to start out with just a smidge, so less than a quarter ounce of Frangelico. And then our next ingredient is going to be 2 dashes of my Canadian bitters. So this is actually homemade with a few secret ingredients, and then I also add a little bit of Canadian whiskey to it. That's kind of where I get the name from. All right, our next ingredient is going to be a quarter ounce of Demerara. Now, as you all know, if you've ever seen me bartend anywhere, this is my preferred sweetener to go with whiskeys, bourbons, ryes, etc. Dark liquors. Our last ingredients and our kind of star of the show is going to be our Knob Creek Smoked Maple Whiskey. Now, this guy comes out once a year, right around now, December-ish. La la la.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not kidding you. When I thought this up, I was hanging out with a bunch of South Dakotans, and we were all talking about Canadian old fashions, and I was like, I could totally do that in my sleep. Only I think generally they make theirs with a sort of cognac. So our glass is already iced, and we also have our orange peel. It's been zested over the top, and we pour. And as always, we have a perfect pour. And there we have it, our Canadian old-fashioned.
Hey, I think it's going to be good.
I think you will too, eh?
Hey.
Oh my goodness. Sandy, do not get me canceled by Canada. Like, I love those people. They're wonderful.
Dion, I'm going to toast, and let's just grab your water and let's
cheers.
Cheers to the world. Let's just see. I love it. I'm stuck on Canadian talk now. No, I'm done. All right, I am so energized and pumped up for this guest that I met shortly after 5 years ago moving to Omaha.
Yeah.
I need my notes because he's done so much. Real estate agent, broker, coach, author. He is a podcast king. He's a king. That's what I call him.
Gosh.
A community leader, and he inspires people. I feel like we're brother and sister.
I'm just so grateful to be around your energy.
Jay Miralles. I forgot to say Jay's in the house. Woo!
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me today. I'm so excited for today.
I'm excited too. Tell me, Jay, the first thing I have to ask and tell the world, because I'm just so impressed with it, and I just send so many people that have veterans. I forgot he's a veteran. Air Force?
You. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Now I got goosebumps. Tell me about the 50-mile march. Co-founder.
Yes.
You've taken it just out of the water. I think I remember watching it. It was like maybe 5 or 6 people.
Yes. Yes.
And how many years ahead? Tell the audience how cool this is.
So it's 5 years in. So it all started with a dream to say, if I ever got back on my feet, I would help others, right? So I had a hard time when I left the Air Force. I had my own little homelessness, my own little bout with, wondering if I wanted to be around anymore. And I'll say the word suicide, right? So I got helped. I got empowered. And so I told God for 20 years, I'm going to help others. I'm going to help. It was cheap. It was all talk is cheap. So 5 years ago, I decided we're going to walk from Lincoln to Omaha and raise money, 50 miles. And 6 people did it. I helped to raise 2,500. We raised 25,000.
Oh, whoa, I love it.
And last year, we just raised $500,000. Yeah.
Okay, can you repeat that?
Yes.
And look, we're $500,000 fundraiser.
And I'm so excited because our goal this year is $1.5 million.
We're doing it.
Yeah, and we're building a tiny village is our vision to house veterans, to empower them, not to help them, but to empower them to be a better version of themselves.
It just makes me so sad to think that we don't take care of our veterans in the United States of America. The president, you can call me, we'll chat.
Yes.
Because they gave up so much.
Yeah.
And a lot of times if they survived it,
Yeah.
now they're living with trauma.
And they're too proud to ask for help.
Yes.
Way too proud. They just,
Wow. Tell me about that.
because when you're in the military, you're thought for, you are plugged into a system where we've got the ideas. You don't need to come up with the idea. You just need to do the executions. You just need to do the actions. Well, what happens is you lose your identity in a system, just like athletes
You're
do.
right.
Just like high performers do. And guess what? They get stuck into a system and then they get exited from the system. And when someone says, Sandy, do you need help? Guess what the answer is? No. Normal people don't want help. Nobody wants to be helped.
Yeah,
It's
you're
looked
right.
as weak. We're trying to change the narrative that asking for help is empowering.
Well, however, I can help you, Jay. You know, I have a big mouth. I'm a cheerleader for nonprofits, people, anything, dogs, animals, and veterans. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you out
Yes,
there if you're
yes.
watching. Thank you. Let me know. I'll help you.
You always are helping, believe me, Sandy. This is more than enough.
Okay, well, I'm going to do more.
I know
So
you will.
you'll keep me accountable,
Yes.
audience. Let's go, let's go. LTS, let's go. Okay,
Yeah,
my
I
cheerleading
love
days
it.
are coming out,
I
and
love
I'm
it.
like, what a name of a book. Let's
need
go,
you to
let's go.
introduce me
Yes, let's go, let's
whenever I
go.
speak.
My energy right now is just on fire. The name of it is Let's Go. If we
Yeah.
all had one person that said, let's go, let's go.
Yes. Yeah. Or it's been whispered to you. Let's go.
Okay,
Or
tell
it's
me,
been
tell
yelled.
me.
Yes. So the book was written after just years and years of me telling stories, years of networking, years of the narrative. I have the same thing. So in the book, in the first chapter, they talk about the little voice in your head that says, Sandy, I don't know if this is going to go great. Sandy, I don't know that you starting this whole women, I don't know. You know what? Most of us believe that. We're our own competition until
absolutely.
someone says, Sandy, let's go. You got this. It's borrowing courage from someone else's words, because sometimes we don't want to. So bungee jumping, have you ever been yet?
No, but
Okay.
I'm up for something
should.
2024. What the
So
heck?
think about this. When you bungee jump, you're not like, I'm going to go bungee jumping. Let me go first. You're the last.
I've seen it on TV.
But if Jay Miralles were with you and say, Sandy, thousands have done it before you. I'm here with you. I will hold your hand. Let's go. Jump. That's what you did with your whole.
Yes, it's
Yes.
every day they need someone to
Yes.
encourage. Coach.
Yes.
They need that encouragement. Because, Jay, for 20 years, I lived by someone else's voices in my head, right?
And in fear, as
Yes,
you shared
and
with
in
me.
fear. And it's
Yes.
like, once you get past that,
Yeah.
you're unstoppable.
Yep.
And now we want to help others be unstoppable. It's in our blood, right? Our heart, our passion.
Yeah. And people tell us all the time, like, Sandy, is that safe? Sandy, are you sure this is going to work? Wait, there's other conferences like this, Sandy? No, there's not. There's only Sandy's conference. There's only her audience. There's only her empowering. And what I love is you're not asking from people, Sandy. What I love that you're doing is you're serving others. But they need your leadership.
Like you,
I appreciate
right?
that.
God calls us and we're like, what? Okay, we're
Yeah.
going to do it. 'Cause
Yeah.
we listen.
Yeah.
Which brings me up to, why do you love coaching?
This is probably.
And I'm going to come back to
yes,
this. I have more
yes.
questions for
I,
sure.
I love coaching, and here's why. There's nothing more that satisfies me seeing someone who thought that's all they could be into something more. And what even gives me more is not the money they make, not the riches that they get, it's the time they get back with their life and their family.
Yeah.
Oh, I love coaching somebody to say, oh, look at that underperformer. She's never going to sell that many houses. I want to help. I hate to lose more than I love to win. And I want to see somebody win and get into their home and say, oh my God, I never thought this was possible. There's my payment. So the difference that I make is why I'm a coach. And I don't care what it is. I can coach you baking. I can coach you speaking. I love to coach. I'm not always the coach with all the answers. I'm the coach with all the questions.
And the coach with all the
Yes.
heart, right?
Yes, yes, because I want more for them. And sometimes they're never going to go there without a holding hand. Or
Everyone needs a coach. I say it every day.
100%.
I have a coach. We all need coaches.
Michael Jordan had one. I mean,
Yes.
Tiger Woods still has one. All these athletes. Why? Why do coaches exist? Because those who can see in a 360, I mean, I can't see behind me right now. You're coaching me right now as we speak.
Yes.
So I love it.
Now, I know how hard it is to write a book.
Oh my gosh. Have you met me?
Oh, how I know.
Yeah.
And I'll go back there again someday,
Yes,
real soon.
Yes.
Tell me, what was the reason behind this? Because it's hard work, people. It's a lot of hours, a lot of time, a lot of
Yeah.
deadlines.
Yeah.
And I was there for your book
Yes.
launch,
Yes,
and it was
yes.
amazing. Is
you.
it on YouTube somewhere or somewhere out there?
So we have the book. Yeah. The whole it was taped. My speech was taped, and if you look on my Facebook or my channels, but yes. But you ask me why.
Yes.
Everybody wants to write a book, right? I didn't write a book for everyone. I wrote it for my mom and dad, and here's why. My parents were immigrants to this country. We had, not a lot, but we had everything we needed, right?
Yes.
And I dishonored their commitment to me by sending me to Catholic school in San Francisco for $4,000 a year, okay? In the 80s, that was a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Especially people who are hurting for money.
Yes.
I was a D- student. I always say this, A's make the grades, C's make the money, D's make the difference, okay?
I might be on that team.
Yes. But,
The D team.
oh, Jay talks too much. He socializes too much. He's disruptive in class. He asks too many questions. Like, why are you? So that's why I wrote the book, because I wanted to pay my parents back. That's the only reason. And if nobody ever read it, I don't care. My mother cried when she read the book. My dad called me and asked me about chapter this, chapter that. He sent me all of his notes, and that's why I did it.
That is the best ever.
And they thought, oh my gosh, you are smart. Well, I had a writing coach, Kathy Rigg, but
Yes,
I had a
yes.
team behind me, so it's not easy, as you say.
Yes.
Everybody wants to write one.
It's doing the work, but he did the work. Follow him on social media and watch that whole launch. It was goosebumps 24/7.
Thank you.
And I just love this person so much because he's such a carer. He cares about the community. He cares about people. He cares that you want to make a change, to start things, to be a cheerleader. And if the world all had more of us, it'd be so awesome. So join us, I guess I'm
Yes.
saying. Let's just
In the crusade.
Yes, the
for
crusade, the
inspiration.
D crew. Yes.
Yes.
As far as, you do a lot with the community. I just wanted to share things that you have done because I love community, connections to community. Share with the audience just some of your things that you are passionate about, nonprofits you're passionate about, things you've done besides. I mean, obviously, 50-mile march takes half your life. So
Yes. And so I feel that, and Van Deeps shared this with me, as one of our good friends said, if you have the ability, you have the responsibility. And until I heard him say that, it clicked in that moment. But when I'm feeling bad and I'm feeling less than, and I go serve somewhere else, there's the addiction, right? And part of it is self-serving, but really, if that's so bad because I want to feel good helping someone else, then let me have it. But in the community, just being there, Chariots for Hope is one of my favorite nonprofits. Moving Veterans Forward is another nonprofit. But I say this to anybody, Jay, why do you spend so much time there? My answer is like, why wouldn't I?
Yes.
Why wouldn't I? I mean, I just do these things because I've been blessed, and I'm not talking about with money, talking with time, with the right gifts to discern on where I should spend my time. And I'm still learning, you know what I mean? I'm still selfish. I don't give all my time, but I do what I can when I can. And I think that's important to me, that's why.
Yes, that's important.
Yeah.
And we can't do everything.
No,
Believe me, I would like to help every dog, elderly, child, everything 24/7.
Yes.
But then we lose ourselves.
Yes.
But there's a happy medium.
There is.
Pick the one. When I worked for the Greater Omaha Chamber, I always would have, with the ribbon cutting, I would say, okay, you are being showcased. Where's your heart?
Yeah.
Who do you love? Let's bring them in with a nonprofit.
Yes.
And this year with Women with Voices, we're going to bring a nonprofit in once a month.
That's so awesome,
But
because they
anyway,
forget.
yes.
Here's what I say. Send the elevator back down. See, here you are. Hey, don't forget, your influence, Sandy, can open a door for someone's door who's been shut, slammed on their face, right? And you're like, hey, I got you. You highlight with them. One person's going to make a difference for their nonprofit. Not all your attendees need to help.
Yes.
just one.
Yes.
And I know you're doing that. I've heard so much.
Oh, well,
Your wake of good is what people are attracted to.
And that's why he's sitting here, because he's the same person, all right? We hang out, the 5 people, like Van D says, the 5 people you hang out with who influence you, that's what you have to make sure that you're giving the right people the right time.
Absolutely.
All right, let's just see. There's so much funness here, I can't even start. As far as being a certified Gallup Strength Coach, which, can it be any spot on? Woohoo.
Yes.
Strategic, community, positivity, and includer.
Oh my gosh.
They're so spot on.
Let's talk about includer. I think you, and this is just my interpretation and how I've known you, you want everyone to have a seat at the table. Yeah. And I can tell you that you're not just to have a seat, but to feel like they really belong there. And it stresses you out when you feel as if one doesn't feel like they belong. Absolutely. It's not about just, oh yeah, the 3 of you are doing great. It's the one that you look to and say, you too, come here. Yeah, that makes you an includer. It's going to
make me cry. Because I've always think like on the grade school playground, right? The one that's sitting underneath the tree that has no one to play with them. Yeah. Still to this day, I mean, the Gallup strings are so rock on. And thank you for that niceness.
Oh, it's not nice at all. And it's a curse too. It's a curse for you because you get stressed out and it tears at you.
Yeah. And I don't sleep at night, but then you give it to God.
Yeah.
Right? Just give it to God,
it.
right?
That's it.
He takes over. Tell me, what made you take the leap for that? Because I just love Gallup strings. I love that I say love all the time because I do love it. Yes. I love that they're out of Omaha.
Yes.
Look, I mean, it's a company right
Think
here
about
in the heartland.
This. Over 3 million tests have been administered. They're onto something, right? There's only 2,200 coaches right now. Their goal is in, I think, 9 more years to have 1 million coaches worldwide. This is in nation. Here's why. I can tell you, are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed.
I mean, okay, so if I tell you, Sandy, we're going to put together a basketball or a volleyball team for whatever, just an intramural, whatever, but I need you to serve with your left hand. You'll tell me like, no, but I need you to because we have nobody doing with our left. You need to work on that hand. It'll stress you out and go, wait. So StrengthsFinders puts people into their strength. I don't want to tell you how bad you are. I want to tell you what you're great at. Listen, and there's 34 themes.
Yes.
The 34th theme you can't worry about. Let's worry about your woo. How can we woo more people, right? How do we win others over? I need you to develop that. Yeah. And guess what? When you live in your 5 top strengths, your stress goes down. Absolutely. Employees stay. Yes. Your revenue goes up and you find purpose. Oh yeah. If people knew it wasn't all about money.
If employers knew.
Yes.
I don't know how many times I left, not let me use my talent. Like you're losing good help.
Yeah.
Showcase what they're great at.
Oh yeah.
And don't, I'm never going to be good at emails. I'm sorry if you email me. I might get to it by
This is
10
how
o'clock,
I type. This is how I
Yeah, I type like this. And but our gifts are people.
Yes.
But if every company would look at their gifts at their people, you would hire less. You would have a better group of people working that are happy, that they're doing what they love.
And it's harder to set up a team that way than it is to take interviews and just fill a slot.
So much work.
But the payoff is so big. And look at what you're building, Kay. I know that as you're building, there's people that get attracted to you that you're like, okay, this is not the direction. It's not that you shun, but you just say, I need to pay attention to my brand, pay attention to who I'm empowering. It's not for everyone.
Yes, it's not.
It's only for people who want to believe too. And guess what? Everyone can't do what you're doing, Sandy.
Oh.
And I'm telling you, that's what you're building. I mean, that's what I want to build too.
You are building it. You have built it. 50-mile run.
Oh my gosh.
Is it run? Walk. March.
Yes,
He's doing it.
Yes.
You have done all of that too. We get a calling, right?
Yeah,
and you can't stop. You had an experience of why you want to help veterans. I had an experience being a woman, but I want to help women.
Absolutely.
And we started something. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
We know that, but that's our Gallup strength, right?
100%. When the money disappears, your passion shows up.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have any passion, then you just end up chasing the money.
Yes. How does that work being a Gallup strength coach? What do you work with certain companies? Do you just...
So I consult, right? Yeah. And I speak with individuals. I speak with companies. I speak to spouses. Did you know how good it is? Listen, this is not some personality test. This is, here's your top 5 strengths. If I talk to you and I said, hey, listen, we're going to have a party and we're going to include all these people and you are going to win them all over and you are going to relate to every one of them. Guess what? Are you excited?
Yes.
But if I said, listen, I need you to arrange this, I need you to be the detail oriented. No. Yeah, exactly my point. So having the gift of being a coach, I know how to talk to people. So on LinkedIn, sometimes they have their top 5 strengths. When I have the first contact with you, I'm speaking to your 5 strengths first. That's my opening line. How cool would it be to meet people and have their 5 strengths on them, like somewhere imprinted, and then say, oh, well, when are those over? And they play into that. Guess what? People trust, like you more when they can perform their best, when they can be themselves.
Be themselves. It's so hard to fight to be someone else.
Oh.
Like people try to be other people, like, oh, she's successful, he's successful.
Yes.
You're going to be so tired because you're never going to be that person.
It's a rehearsal that you never get to perfect.
Yes.
So if you're acting, oh, Sandy, she's high energy, I better be high energy too. Well, if you're not high energy and you're around high energy people, either you're attracted to it or it's going to shut you down, right? But you don't have to be exactly like Sandy.
No.
I think too many times,
People
I want to do what
try.
you do. They
Yes.
try too hard. Just be yourself.
Be yourself.
So let me ask you,
Yes.
if people want to be around you, do they have to be at your level of energy the whole time?
No, I just
No.
want to love on you.
Yes.
I want to hug on you
Yes.
and I want to empower you.
Yes.
And then you can take my energy and then go take a nap.
Yes.
And feel that you are loved. You are loved.
And do what you want.
Yes. What do you?
Yeah.
That's empowering people to do what they
Yeah.
want to do and to be themselves.
But
It's
you need
so
to, in my book, it says you got to transfer the energy.
Yes.
In a
I
room
mean,
full of people, if that is your jam, your cup is full and you're like, oh my God.
Oh, yes, it
It's
is.
like the last 6 people that hang around at your events are like, oh my God, this was amazing. Those are
you're
your
right.
peeps. Those are your
You're
people.
so right.
Yeah, so.
Gosh. What do you have up your sleeve? What's going on for 2024? It's 2024. It's a new year. What does Jay, like, do you have a word? Do you have an
Yes,
yeah.
intentional.
Love it.
Intentional. So here's what I'll tell you. I'm intentional about not overscheduling myself. I'm intentional about my health. I'm intentional about not drinking right now, which don't shame anyone for. I'm intentional about self-imposed rigidity, about putting really hard things to do on myself. I'm intentional to sacrifice. And you're saying, well, that sounds altruistic. No, it really doesn't, because living unintentional, which I was for years, living by not co-pilot, but autopilot.
Oh, yeah.
It just didn't work. I was filling everyone else's cup. I was doing, yes, I can do that. Yes, you can. Yeah. Now I'm intentional about, okay, this is what I'm going to do, but you got to set time aside. Yeah. Oh, I can go on and on about being intentional, but if I could tell everyone what I'm doing this year, we're going to start building this village. We're going to sell real estate. We're going to coach people into greatness. And when I say we, it's not an I thing. I involve all those others, but I want to be intentional with the people that I want to be intentional with. It sounds crazy, but
No, it's lovely.
I'm 53 now, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm just telling you,
Yes.
I wasted a lot of time. If one listener or viewer says, I need to be more intentional, this was worth it all.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Time, right? It's all about time. I'm 56. I'm
Yeah.
throwing it out there.
Yeah.
I love that we're seasoned.
Yes.
That's my favorite word too. It should
Yes.
be my word of the year, but my word is truth.
Okay. Which is great to have, but hard to do.
It's a challenge, but
And guess
I
what?
said yes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The truth of everything, like the truth of what you want out of life, the truth of what I need to share out of life, the
Yeah.
truth of where I'm going to be and maybe not going to be, but like
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah.
Just
Hey,
like
I
the
can't,
truth.
I don't have time for this right now. Or hey, no to you. And no, I can't. That's truth. But it's hard to say, right? Because you wanna be there and you don't want to miss anything. You don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I would rather you hurt my feelings up front than not be there for me 8 months from now.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, we're realizing, our health, right? In your
Oh,
50s, our
gosh.
health, and
Yes.
we're like,
Oh, yeah.
ooh, we got to live this up 10 years. Just kidding.
Oh, yeah,
But I mean,
yeah.
our health is starting to show.
Oh, my
And we
gosh.
want to help more. Like, we want to, who can we touch in our lives? And we want to be purpose, be purpose in what we do with our time, our energy,
Absolutely.
the people we hang out with. Van, I don't know how many times too, the 5 people.
Yes.
And just be purpose driven and just really looking at the next centuries of our life, right? Where we want to be.
I think we need an anchor and purpose, like you said right now, because so many times we're just running into things happenstance and, oh, I got a deal. Oh, I missed that deal. Well, how did you approach it? Did you expect it? Did you want it? How'd you approach women with voices? How'd you come up with the name?
Just did it.
Exactly. But you did it with intentionality, right? And you had to let go your fear. And I talk and I reference you a lot because it's an easy case to study and say, here's someone who, when I spoke to you years ago, was not sure. I don't know where I'm going with this. Hey, let's do this thing together. Truth. And you're like, maybe, maybe not. I'm glad that you didn't do something I wanted you to do. You found your voice. Yeah. And now you're sharing it with others. I think the hardest part is to cut out the lies, cut out the things you don't need, because they feel good sometimes. They're fillers, and the truth is hard, but if you live your truth this year, it'll be the happiest year you've had.
Well, I'm going to lean on you.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for being
a guest.
I'm
so grateful. I could speak to you for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's almost time to go.
Yes.
Audience, make sure you follow Jay on his journey. If you have a chance to volunteer, help out. If you want to research his book, buy his book to pay back his parents, just do anything, but do something. I'm Sandy Spady. This is the end of our episode today. One person can make a difference and be the change. Just be that person.